guys, welcome back to another episode here from the Hermitcraft server, where today I got a banger for you. Oh baby, I'm hyped. This is gonna be a cool project, man. The G.L.O.B.E is coming. But first of all, yeah, sniffer outfit. That is the outfit I actually wore. Kick back to the most embarrassing thing I've ever done, I think, in a Hermitcraft video. I was a sniffer's butt. But yeah, this is the sniffer's butt outfit. And, it's strategic. It made me look harmless. And people wouldn't take me seriously. Oh, big mistake. The first round of the big Hermitcraft Poker World Championship has happened. If you saw it on Twitch, you know what went down. Yeah. Check it out over, link in the video description to my Twitch channel. Should be the latest VOD. If you're watching this video, it's called Poker First Round, you'll find it. Maybe I can also find a direct link to it. But yeah, it was epic. It was an epic first round. And yeah, the GOAT showed them. It was glorious. Just as glorious as the thumbnail of today. Check it out. It's a 1-to-1 copy of me. Boom. Abyssal Sprout. Holy moly. It was posted in January already. Saw it and I was looking for a good moment to post it. And I felt this morning I felt exactly like that. With my robes. Super epic. The GOAT in front of a ominous red light. Could be the redstone machines shining in the background. Big shout outs Abyssal Sprout. Link in the video description as well. Support our artists. Gives me joy every day. Oh yeah, I'm in a good mood today because, we worked on this so cool project this week and you'll love it. But first, we got to check real quick. Oh yeah, before we check, any bets? Did we make any sales? Did the white pale oak wood sales bonanza start? It did, partially. Somebody bought some pity pale oak. Nice. That's good. That's good. I love that. Okay, we'll pick that up later. We'll leave it in there to encourage other customers that come by and that are unsure about the illegal sales and they see, oh, somebody else bought. It can't be that bad then, But it seems the word is spreading. Nice. We're making some diamonds from our shops after all. Can't believe it. So far we only made sand. And, I did something. Let's go over to the sand. And while we go there, of course, a quick reminder, the gold playing cards are still available. I put them on the screen now with our beloved theme music. Yo, these are the epic poker cards. Bloop, bloop, you should pick them up. They are amazing. Playing cards, people love them. And I also showed them on stream a little bit. But here they are. Pick them up. Thank you. Boop. All right. Commercial break over. Yeah, so far the support's been great on the cards. Everybody loving them. And we still have like 2-3 weeks to go with the pre-sale. So if you're unsure, you still have time to think. Don't feel rushed. Do you. And if you don't want to buy the cards, it's also not a problem. You know what I mean? I'm happy you're here. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Let me see. Where is the holes? There should be some holes here. I've been digging. Wait, now I can't find my holes I dug out. Where are they? Here they are. We can drop inside here. Can you believe it? I actually hollowed out the sand pillar, the sand pile. We're right in the middle of it. Right here, inside of it. There is a good reason for that, though. What do I have here? Some sand still left? Yeah, some sand still left. We will use this place to make our life a lot easier. Remember last time we did some magic tricks. We played around with the fishing rod and teleportation. And the hive mind, there's never an end. And when we started to think about teleportation, a lot of thinking happened. And systems were developed that are really cool. So, let's get back home. And here where we have our teleportation station for the fishing rod, I dug another hole. Yeah, I'm into digging holes, what can I say? And inside of this hole, we're gonna introduce the G.L.O.B.E system. Well, technically, gist, but you'll learn more about that during this episode. We want to have a system that enables us to teleport to any location on the server on demand from anywhere else where we have these stations. So our goal for today, and we will expand on this global system later, is we want to build a device that enables us to teleport from here to the spawn district inside the hourglass and back. And then later, it's already ready to do that, to teleport to all kinds of locations all over the server. And that's the whole shebang of this whole episode. So where do we even start with a project like that? Well, in most cases it starts with me doing something and then somebody else seeing that and being inspired. And in this case, it was the same thing. So remember back in season 9, in the perimeter, we had this crazy device. We shot an arrow through the whole world over thousands of blocks, and the arrow was flying with an insane speed, faster than light. Pretty much, and hitting a target with insane velocity and obliterating everything it hit with one shot. It could take off, netherite armor of a player completely with one shot. It could one-shot wardens, dragons, everything, And to trigger it from a few thousand blocks away, we used a design that was a wireless redstone transmitter by To Name. A pretty crazy design that uses the syncing of let's say daylight sensors in the game code to send signals wirelessly to anywhere on the server. It was a really cool concept, but to send signals with it was a bit, let's say, clunky. You had to place down daylight sensors and then maybe cover them, and then you had to, it wouldn't work during nighttime, for example, and so on. There were a lot of flaws with it, but the concept was brilliant. It was only a matter of time until somebody would pick that up again and make it better. And that's where we arrived today. And big shout outs to Izzy and Avu, who contacted me and said, hey, we're working on something that might be an interesting concept. And then Iron Methods got involved and we kept on working on it over the past week. And now we hammered out prototypes that are really, really cool. And I think have the potential to become something the Minecraft community might use. All large. You know what I mean? So, without further ado, and we'll talk more about Izu and Avu later in the video, I should start going here. So, first things first, right? If we want to trigger something, so the idea is this, right? We have a wireless receiver, and we can trigger that remotely to trigger a stasis chamber. So, what do we need first? Well, we need this wireless receiver. And Evo and Izzy worked on the design a little bit and were able to compact it quite a bit and make it a little bit more stable. And that's the first start. So right here, I'm going to build the first thing. It's going to be the wireless receiver. And from there on out, we developed the whole system, which is going to be super cool. Trust me, it's worth watching this episode. I think you want to build this in one of your worlds in the future. Here's building materials I will need for the whole shebang. But yeah, let me get going here and then I'll guide you through the process step by step. Ah yeah, nice. Here we go. That is the wireless receiver we know from To Name, but it's an improved design. Repeaters got shaved off, it's a little bit more compact, and overall looking snazzy as it is. So, Izzy and Avo put some work in that, and really made some nice progress. So what does this device do? Well, over here we have a trigger for it. This device can wirelessly receive a redstone signal from a decoded sequence like that. And now this quickly a bit of a theoretical part, but really important for the rest of the video. Look at the sequence of these repeaters here. 2, delay, right? 2, 1, 1, 1, right? And if you look down in the machine, we have the same sequence here. 2, delay 2, 1, 1, 1. Same thing here, 1, 1, 1, and this is one higher. That needs to be if you're encoding this, but here's the key sequence again, 2, 1, 1, 1. So this receiver is programmed to receive a signal from something that is also coded 2, 1, 1, 1. So this is the standard thing we had before. We can press this button now, and yeah, I'm waiting for nighttime because this is another cool achievement by adding 2 of these daylight detectors and setting them to night mode and funneling them into a comparator like that is in subtraction mode. Now this thing works 24/7. Before, a flaw of the system was during daytime it would only work. Nighttime it would not work, and now it should, and we can test this. So there is no connection between here, this button, and there. And of course this could be anywhere on the server, right? I could be anywhere. I'm just here. And if we press this button now, this redstone lamp should turn on. Let me see. Pressing. And boom. We wire the signal through. And yeah, now we can have a readout here and trigger something. And obviously, now if we are somewhere, right, and we want to be teleported to back here, what would we do? We would have something like this somewhere and press it, and then from this redstone signal that comes out of the receiver, we would trigger a stasis chamber, right? We press, hey, we want to get back home. Beep. So pretty cool already. A teleport home station from anywhere by the press of a button, but that's not it. Obviously that is clunky to use, unpractical. We want something that is more practical, and ideally we want something, if you have multiple of these stations all around the server, we want to be able to select a destination. So there might be many receiver stations with different coded sequences here, and there's plenty we can encode here, so don't you worry about that. So we can have many stations, hundreds if need be, all over the server that are connected via network, and we could have selection panels and go there and say teleport us to location A, B, C, D, wherever, all of the over the server, and then from these locations we can also teleport back or to any other location. So yeah, next step, of course, now we can receive signals. Now we also need to be able to send signals from here, but we want to be able to send signals to multiple destinations. So that's why we need a destination selections panel up here, and that will be able to be programmed in an easy way, not fiddling around, switching over repeaters here or anything, to select a destination where you want to go to. So the next step I will add is a selection panel up here pretty much. Okay, and here we go. So now what we just had here, that single line to transmit a signal to there, we now have here, but for multiple destinations. To recap, keep in mind we still have our, let's call it IP address in this encoder, right? It is 2, 1, 1, 1. So to trigger this, we had a setup here that was also set to 2, 1, 1, 1, and we put the daylight sensor there, right, and then an item gets dropped, and same thing happens here. Here are the droppers that have items, and they will just be flushed back into the dropper via these water streams here, so it resets itself. And here we have a selection panel to select different IP addresses, so to speak. So let's look at this setup. Best we look from here. So remember the code for this destination was 2, 1, 1, 1. Delays on the repeaters, and it starts right here, 2, 1, and then we loop around, and we have 2 more repeaters here. And right now destination 2 is selected, that is this lane, which means 2, 1, and then we come around, 1, 1. So right now, pretty much, this destination is set to here, right? If you wanted to teleport to somewhere else, the receiver there would have a different IP address set, and we could program that in here too. And we have in this setup 11 slots. You can expand that way more if you want to. But at the moment I will have 11 destinations all over the server I can teleport to. And let me quickly show you how that works. So here, this is the redstone signal then coming up from our receiver, this line of slime here. And we will hook up a cool, very new and very helpful ender pearl stasis chamber to this system. So when we press this button, we select it to teleport to here. That means this needs to trigger, so the ender pearl stasis chamber would trigger, right? So let's press the button here. There's no wire connection, and boom, you could see this triggered. So if this station would have been somewhere else on the server now, let's say over at the shopping district, for example, right where we have our first hole, because yeah, that's definitely a destination I'm gonna hook up, we would have been teleported to there. And then let's say home here would be on slot 1, so we just go here, you know, into the book, select destination 1. When we are at the shopping district and we want to come back home again, now we press, and you know, wirelessly the system would detect, hey, it's here, to trigger and bring us back to here. So what do we learn? This is pretty much already functioning right now. Only thing we need is an ender pearl stasis chamber to trigger. So there's one flaw with ender pearl stasis chambers, at least I think. I mean, they're cool. Now they can chunk load, so that also means the ender pearl will also function as a chunk loader here to keep this thing loaded. Otherwise it cannot receive things. So we don't need an additional chunk loader. We can actually do it only with the pearls, which makes it really versatile. Imagine if I plop that in the shopping district and I have to have a proper chunk loader there with a portal. That's a guaranteed catastrophe. People will connect to it and it will break. But this system is rigid like that. You can have it sitting there literally just loaded by the player. And now comes the coolest part. If I'm offline, my ender pearls will vanish and the system goes offline. So it will not strain the server when I'm not here. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of upsides. But the downside of an ender pearl stasis chamber so far has been, well, it's only holding one, and then you use it once and it makes the usage of a system like that clunky. You would think, okay, then I teleport to spawn, then I arrive there, and every time I arrive I have to toss an ender pearl up into the system again or something, right? Load it. No. What we needed was a magazine. And Dark was working on a concept a while back. Methods had also his own concept, and then he revived some of the old concept, worked together with Izzy and Avu, and then yeah, we came up with a really cool, compact and reliable stasis pearl chamber magazine that can extract one pearl on demand, and that is exactly what we need here, right? Then we can just load in a whole lot of ender pearls in the system. They'll just be sitting there, and then, you know, every time we want to teleport, we just press buttons and we don't have to worry about reloading stasis chambers. Ah, ain't that nice? So, with that said, obviously the logical next step now is we want to load or hook up an ender pearl stasis chamber to that system. So that goes above because, yeah, we want to drop down and smoothly land in here. And I think by dropping the pearl down, that was the easiest solution we could think of. So yeah, let me add this brand new design for Ender Pearl Stasis Chamber magazine. Ah, and there we have it. A Ender Pearl Stasis Chamber magazine with the ability to dispense one pearl on demand. Yeah. This is what makes this whole design really user-friendly. So, Callum, I press here, right? I would trigger a teleport to a different station. Now we just have it programmed to this here, and boom, the ender pearl would be dropped right here, and you'd land right here. Now imagine, of course, right, we teleport to a different station. So somewhere else, we have the same setup, programmed to this destination here. We trigger it, and then within, yeah, a very short amount of time, you can see this going off, and now we would be teleported to that location, aka, for example, shopping district, right? So really practical. That is what makes these stasis chambers partially not so practical, that you constantly have to reload them. And as you can see here, we have this pearl perfectly lined up. Here, methods fiddled with this thing, and it's nice and compact for what it does, because it does more than just hold the pearls and get them ready to dispense for us when we trigger, like so, right, from somewhere, and want to be teleported to here. No. You just saw another function of the setup. Now the last pearl was used up in the system. and it automatically perfectly aligns you, puts you back in here to throw more pearls in. And yeah, you just hold right click here, pretty much, look straight up, and now we spammed a bunch of pearls in there, and now the system is ready and primed again. And you know, we can keep on going. And here you can see the pearls, if we do hitboxes, being nicely aligned here at the edge again and ready to be deployed. And yeah, up there, how does that work, you wonder? Well, we have a counter integrated in the system on the far side right here. And this keeps tracks of how many ender pearls are in there. And when the counter is fully reset, a trapdoor closes and makes sure you end up here instead of down there. For easy refill, you just grab pearls from here then. So yeah, really user-friendly and nice. And now, you know, we refilled the system. Super easy peas. And yeah, now it's ready to teleport us here again. So that's one station. Here's the main station. We will add a bunch of add-ons to this. One thing we need though, and we figured it out in a late night session. So let's say when I log out, right, and we can actually demonstrate it. So as long as I'm logged in, no problem here, right, because the area stays loaded via these pearls up there. If we do F3 grid and look at our chunk grid, we can see the whole shebang here is within this chunk where the pearls sit, right here in the stasis chamber. All good. So now though, what happens if we log off, right, and then come back? That is, of course, something now, you know, the receiver would keep on running. And now let's see if the thing is stable upon relog. And I can already tell you, spoiler, probably not. Most likely not, no. Because, yeah, now the pearls would get reloaded and it might even trigger. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we actually just got teleported to exactly here. Why did that happen? Well, when this thing gets reloaded, and that happens when the pearls get put back in, this thing triggers once automatically. We need to prevent that. And secondly, there's a high chance if I push here now, the whole setup might actually not be able... okay, we got lucky this time. It worked. It's still in sync. But there's a high chance that this thing also desyncs. So what you want to do is you want to switch this off and on when the player logs in. So a quick reboot within a few seconds. And also prevent, obviously, the teleporting that just happened. I hope you saw it, right? I was back at the spot where the pearls dropped when I logged back in. And when I logged out, I was over here. So the thing triggered while we were logging in. That's not good. And that happens because the pearls get loaded back in, right? And then the whole area gets loaded and that causes this setup to trigger once. We can prevent this though. There is a cool mechanic in the game. You can detect if a chunk was just recently loaded. And exactly that is what we needed. And it happens to be that, yeah, I think Methods originally showed a design years ago on the Psycraft server, which comes in handy perfectly now. We need a machine that quickly detects, hey, this chunk was just reloaded, do something. And what this something will be, I'll show you, and that will prevent us from being teleported while logging in, and it will also reset the machine to make 100% sure it's always working. And then we have a fully working system here, which I'm going to be really happy about. All right, and there we have it. And you really need to make this area here mob-proof, man. It's insane. It's very dangerous what I'm doing here. But yeah, down there you can see it. This is a chunk loading detection device. We have an armor stand here with Frostwalker boots. And yeah, here we have a source block forming via these two stairs that are waterlogged. And this will freeze over as soon as this chunk gets reloaded. That's a mechanic that works, instantly. The Frostwalker will be reloaded and boom, freezes this over. We detect that, and via a bit of delay, we keep our machine here disabled until we are fully locked in, pretty much. And then we enable it, and that prevents us from being teleported around. You shall see. So I'm standing over here next to the cat, right? And when we log out now and back in, and the thing was running, right, in working fashion, We're coming back onto the server now, and now the problem before was it could trigger and we could be teleported over to the position where we at. So let's wait. Aha, we're still here at the cat, right? And now let's see if the machine also still works upon reloading. Only loaded by the ender pearls. Yes, it worked, and yeah, we had the last pearl in there. So now I can refill. 1, 2, 3, 4, or just hold. Can throw a bunch more in here now, as we know everything is working. All right, later, you know, I don't know, I'll toss like 2 stacks in there so you don't have to reload too often. But yeah, that works stable now. It works. It's hard for me to demonstrate to you what's happening because, you know, the thing does its job while our relogging process, kind of, right? But you can maybe tell that the machine is just booting up when we log out again. Maybe you can see it. Let's see. Let me try logging out. Now everything you know, shuts off. It's unloaded, and now we're reloading redstone, which is a big deal while it's running. So we're doing a reset here, yeah, that should be fine. So we're loading still, right? Trying to get into the game. Ah, you just saw it. If you just looked at my crosshair, this fade out was just fading out. That means the machine here was restarted. So we timed it perfectly for our login time. You know, when you switch this machine on and off, you can see this fade out line here slowly going from on to off. And when we logged in, we could barely see it. So yeah, once again now, if I press here, this should work reliably. So it's server restart and reload stable. Yep. Ah! Well, okay. A tiny flaw is maybe, you know, 1 or 2 enderbytes here and there. But yeah, so now this setup works, right? So great, we've built all this thing, teleporting us from here to there. Amazing, right? Obviously that's not as cool as it can be. Now we will go ahead and obviously build another station like that over at the shopping district in the big hole I dug out, right inside the sand pile. And then within a second we can teleport between shopping district and back. So yeah, let's grab all my building blocks here, and then we head over to the shopping district and hammer out another bad boy like that. All right, look at that. Ha! We have another module here at spawn now, right in the midst of the sand pile, right? One thing's important, of course, if you work with daylight sensors, right? These things need sky access. We remember that, right? When we worked back in the day with the arrow, it's important that the spots above this piston, above these daylight sensors and above this piston have daylight access. And we achieved that here. There can be glass. You can see I installed glass pillars all the way up here through the hourglass. They're coming up here, and there's another one coming up here. But from the outside, you can really not see that at all. Somewhere in there, right? So that's totally fine. And yeah, the thing has a sky access. It also has a chunk reload detection system. So when I log in and out, it restarts itself and resets and make sure it works and doesn't get randomly teleported or anything. I tested that already. Logging in and out seems to be stable. So that's a good thing. So now we have our destinations here. I have the swamp, right? The swamp had the destination location 2111 encoded in our repeaters here. This location has 2 and then 1, 1, and then here 2. You can see that on these 2 repeaters. They are not on the standard setting. They are at 2 ticks, right? So we know the address here is 2112, and I have it programmed in on destination 2 here. So now we can do our first test. If the receiver works, can we teleport to here, from here to here? Yes, it triggered. Ender pearl comes flying out, and an endermite attacks us. Okay, here we go. Nice. Okay, that works. And now comes the first big moment. Swamp. We're selecting an actual destination far, far away. To be exact, in this case, over 4,500 blocks over towards north. And this will be the first official use of the G.L.O.B.E system here on the Hermitcraft server. Global Location Operator Based Encoder. Yeah. Ah, we like acronyms. Come on, man. G.L.O.B.E. Okay, so we have our destination set to swamp. Fingers crossed. Pressing. It should take really short time, and we should see ourselves at the swamp. Yes, there's a cat. Hello. Oh my god, we did it. Here, this dropper is a little bit orientated in a different way, the ender pearl dropper here, because later we found out it's a bit directional, but we're fiddling around with the design to make it non-directional. In the end, just this bit up there, this hole is not directional, of course. But yeah, it's a prototype, right? And it gets sleeker and better over time. But yeah, now, big moment. Can we actually teleport to the shopping district? I programmed in the location here, 2112. That's the IP address of the shopping district. And now we'll be like, yeah, we need to go to the shopping district and, you know, refill my shop and do something. And I'd just be coming up here, pressing. And instead of going through the nether, yes, baby, we're here. Oh my god, it works. This is the coolest thing ever. Oh my god, and now here, you know, from here, we can also go anywhere. Not only back to the swamp, of course. We'll program in our other destinations we will eventually add. You know what? This opens up all kinds of stuff. Think about it. Finally, we'll get, for example, mail. We will just install one of these transmitter stations somewhere around here, maybe at the post office. And then we will get a notification sent to us wirelessly out to the swamp, and then we can press a button and say pick up your mail, and then we just get teleported there, and then we can teleport back to the swamp. Yeah, baby. You know, there's all kinds of stuff we can do with this, and yeah, there's more to the system. That's not all. We still have to install the cat switch. The cat switch is next level, and yeah, I'd say I'll gather all my building materials here. What was that? That's only sand. And also this place needs to be lit up. It's quite dangerous here still. Do I still have some lichen? Then before I leave, I will lichen the place up there. Okay. Yeah, let's lichen up as much as I can. And then we can leave and yeah, add another little trick to this thing. Because right now, right, we can teleport from these stations to anywhere. But what if we are out about and exploring and we don't want to use the fishing rod trick? Wouldn't it be cool if we could, you know, trigger a, yeah, let's say a recall button that brings us back to the main hub, which would be in the swamp, if we do something specifically and we don't have to have any items to trigger that. And yeah, there the cat switch comes in place, right? Cats can be used to detect player online presence. I think G.L.O.B.E used a cat detector. I think he used the design by ToName. I'm not quite sure, but he's definitely has a cat. And when he logs on, the cat says, hello, you know, it's G.L.O.B.E fan. And we can use the same trickery with the cat to kind of, yeah, circumvent any issues here with us teleporting back without having a fishing rod. So, yeah, with that said, let me make sure this place is not too dark around here. And then, yeah, I see you out in the swamp. Oh, who gives a crap? I want to teleport. I light up this place later. Let's go to the swamp. And so cool. It's just so cool, man. That was a nighttime teleportation just now. So we also showed the thing works in the night, actually. Man, I was just, you know, when I was just landing here, I was just like, man, I'm so happy this works. I didn't even want to say anything. All right. Anyways, now we have this cat here. And yeah, we do have some space here. We need to install a cat switch. Yeah. All right. And now we have the final evolution done. The cat I just had in there, you know, I caught it from one of the villages around, is now down in there. Look at the cat. And this here, what you see in front of me, is the classic ToName cat detection switch. What's happening here? when you have a cat that is your own, the cat will sit down when you log out. When a cat sits down on a chest, it will lock the chest, and then it will have no contents being detected inside of it anymore. We can see that with this comparator here. So, in short, when I log off, we know. When I log in, we also know. So now we can detect the player logging in and out or changing dimensions. That is what we can detect. For this setup, only for the cats situation, we need a chunk loader here. And now this system is active. And this is, bring me home now just by logging in and out situation. So, let's go somewhere over here. And this is pretty much the fishing rod now without the fishing rod. Oh yeah, here. Get some of the poker cards. Alright, let's say, we've been somewhere exploring or whatever, and now we're done with the exploring. We want to get home. So we do this. Log out, log back in rather quickly, not waiting too long. The cat switch will detect this and trigger the ender pearl stasis chamber. Watch it. Ha-ha! We're home. Yes, indeed. So this is thanks to the cat switch, right? So now, by just logging in and out, or the other option is to go through a nether portal and quickly go back, like in and then out again. This will also trigger the system. We can go back if we don't want to trigger the system and, stay somewhere. And, while we have it activated, we can also disable it, of course, right? We just log out and then we go like 1, 2, 3, and then we log back in a slower pace. And that is enough time, for the cat switch not to trigger. Let's see. Hopefully I caught the timing well there, but it should be something like that. 3. Okay. Still was a little bit too quick, me logging back in. Okay, so we have to wait a little bit longer. We can set a timer. We can set a timer down there. Where is it? Right here. And with this timer, we can control how fast we can log in and out. So I have to practice a little bit and find my perfect timing to not be teleported. Let's see if we can pull it off again. I'm logging out and I'm staying out a little bit longer. Maybe I'll fiddle with the items there a little bit and see if we just need to dial the system in over the next weeks while we use it. Okay, now let's see. Hopefully we're not getting teleported. That would be nice. If not, we'll figure it out. Don't you worry. Okay, see, this time we had the timing right. We didn't get teleported. So obviously the cat switch can also be disabled. Right here I have the piston in there already. If you pull that block out, now the cat can do whatever it wants. It will not trigger our system here. And we can enable, and I will also have a control switch that can switch between these two modes up there, right? I'll wire that later. But now we are ready, in receiving mode again. And things should be working. Now we don't need the chunk loader anymore, right? The chunk loader is solely for the cat system. So now you can debate what is better. We still have our fishing rod system here that works too. We can use that as well. And this is something, for, I don't know, backup system for if you don't want to have any item on you, if your fishing rod breaks, or if you just want to have something super fancy and cool. So the cat system is also really cool and can be set up quite easily. You don't need the whole fancy shebang for that. Technically, you just need the cat switch, a chunk loader, and a stasis chamber. So pretty much only this part here, right? And a chunk loader. Then you can have a teleport me home situation with your cat too. Here you define the length of the logging out by having items. At the moment I have about 26 items. Here you got to make sure you have items in this chest as well. A stack, and the stack cycles via these observers down here, and dropper. They cycle in the chest to keep the chest updated. That's important to see if the cat is sitting or standing. And then you just power whatever you need to power. Here I go into the slime, go up, and it triggers my stasis chamber. But you can also have a very simple stasis chamber like that hooked up to your cat. And then, just log in, stay logged out for a little bit. If you don't want to trigger it, or instantly click clack and get teleported home. So that works. Now let's see if actually also our other global reset worked and we can teleport to spawn. Oh, fingers crossed. Please work. Do we have destination selected? Alright. I'm trying. Triggering the teleportation to spawn. Yes! Oh my god, it's working. It's working. Ah, I'm so happy. Oh, it's working. I can't believe it. Oh, it's still dark here. Still kind of dangerous. Wait, let me quickly check. H. Yeah, something can spawn back there. And also a buff here, potentially. Okay. I need to get some lights in here. Anyways, that's working. And now I guess, yeah, just back home to the swamp. It worked, but...
Or not quite, Doc.
Oh.
Hey, welcome.
Whoa. Hey! Magical transition into breaking the fourth wall. Ha! Smooth editing. I'm just saying. Pro at this. Not that we recorded this clip before and I didn't realize my audio was not recording. Did never happen, alright? Alright.
What you're talking about.
Alright, Doc, you know what you're here to see.
Yeah. I'm here with Izzy and Avo. How it's pronounced correctly. I got it right now, but I call him Avu. I don't know why. Anyways, here we are. The history of the G.L.O.B.E system, pretty much. And Izzy, why did you run us through? I mean, some of the old school viewers probably know this design, right?
Right. So this was originally developed by 202 Name, and we saw it when you featured it in Season 9 Hermitcraft. If you remember, this is wireless redstone transmission by using a set sequence of repeaters to send a signal to that lamp. You put this daylight sensor down, that lamp should blink once.
Boom, you saw that. So globally, right, but clunky. Remember, we used that to trigger our arrow. We also showed a system of pushing a piston on top of it. Still it had flaws, and those flaws got polished out, or, small improvements, and then big steps. So here you can see the first big step looking from on top. You can see this machine is a little bit compactor, right? Or more compact.
Yeah, so this machine now we trim down how many repeaters are required to send a signal. It does mean if you ever had to place something on the fly, you don't need 7 repeaters, it's just 4. And it does mean later on when we design bigger systems, you don't have as many repeaters being compacted. So all the improvements we made are laid out here. You can use less repeaters and blocks and dust in between. The second upgrade here was to make it working day and night and not to misfire when it turns from day to night. I remember you saying that was one of the issues you had using this machine. If it was nighttime, you then can't use it.
Yeah, that's really cool. So send a signal 24/7, pretty much anytime.
Yep.
For example, at the TCG arena, I had the anvil cannon. And also using this wireless transmitter, if you remember in Season 9. And the flaw was during nighttime, and we couldn't transmit signals. And yeah, with this addition of another daylight sensor now, we're good. And then, of course, triggering it by pushing a piston over it is a known trick already. But now in combination with the 24/7 availability, that and compacting it, that, of course, makes this thing really interesting for eventually leading to what you see on the Hermitcraft server now. Here, pretty much that is the prototype, and you guys called it...
This is the GIST system, the Global Instant Signal Transmission.
Oh, yeah.
The issue with the previous machine is still that you have one saved location and you have to remember the repeater codes.
Yeah.
So this system is designed to carry about up to 30. This one is set for 9 per side right now of saved locations. And you can just cycle through them with the lecterns in the middle to pick where you want to go.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to remember anything. You just set up on your server and leave it.
Yeah, so in short, what it does is, this is a certain sequence you have to encode here with the repeaters, right? You have them pre-stored here already, and then you just pretty much have a selection which code you want to use. And they are all encoded here in these repeater chains pretty much. That makes it really comfortable, right? Select the destination, go there, and then it will teleport you to the receiver that has set code, set up here with its own repeaters, just as we did on the Hermitcraft server. So of course, when the guys said, hey, we're working on expanding the system and showed me that, I thought, yeah, that's really, really cool. And we picked up work on it, got methods involved and whatnot. And everybody gets involved when things like that happen. Here, for example, those guys are playing on a server. The server is called
Blackblock.rocks.
Blackblock. Yep.
Yeah, Blackblock.
Exactly. So link in the video description. If you want to join, you can apply to join their community. It's a cool server. They also got cool builders on here. Look, people already went in and said, here, this is how some of these teleportation rooms could look like. And as you can see, there's talented people among this community here for sure.
This was from Flight and Ren.
Nice, man. Yeah, these builds are looking great. So, and the interface, of course, is really cool. Right, you have these lecterns and then just a button, so it's really easy. And here you could have your destinations lined up and so on. So really, really cool, easy way to implement that. And yeah, while we were trying to get a system working for the Hermitcraft server, I mentioned to Izzy, hey, maybe we can also implement some CAD technology, for remote triggering the whole thing. I showed the fishing rod the other day, right? But it would be cool if you don't need an item at all. And here comes the good old CAD technology in play. To Know to Name showed this a long time ago, right? And yeah, Izzy is just loading up the Stasis Chamber magazine. That's a different variation of a Stasis Chamber magazine. Here, developed by Izzy and Avu together. The one I'm showing on the server is a design by Methods, right? He shaved off some blocks. So yeah, now you can see the behavior of the cat, right? We can detect if the cat locks the chest by sitting on it. Boom. You see that? Cat sitting down. So now we can detect that. Izzy locks in and out.
Yep, I'm just going to come back now.
Yeah. Let's see if it was good enough timing-wise. Could take a while here on the server network. Yeah. Yep. All right. There you see it. He got teleported. Right. So cat standing up again. So this is how this system works. Obviously, a huge breakthrough. That was also when we started talking. We're talking about we need a magazine for redstone for the ender pearls. Right. That makes this whole thing way more viable because you don't always want to reload. If you forget one time, right, the system doesn't work anymore. So yeah, we want to have the magazine. And yeah, then we developed the magazine. And eventually, this would be a working system. It's also made in diamond ore, which I appreciate a lot.
We wanted to make sure you liked it. This is a full home system.
Yeah.
It has one red receiver, so anyone could teleport here if they wanted to.
Yeah.
This has a cat system, so whoever owns this cat can teleport here by changing servers or going through nether portals. And then when you do teleport here, you've got lecterns to control if you want to teleport to another location.
Yeah.
So if you're ever stuck exploring and you're 5,000 blocks away, just use the cat to get back home and then use this to get to another location you want to travel to.
Exactly. So pretty much now this is the complete system we have built on the Hermitcraft server too, just in a different configuration or whatnot. The system I have, we just somehow hammered together and stitched together. This looks more clean and has more destinations as well. So there's also an option there. As I said, there's always plenty of options. And talking about options, one thing that's not optional is you should subscribe to Avu. Yes, check out the link in the video description, make sure, because there's more to come. Here is a really, really cool system that could also come in handy for the Hermitcraft, but is very useful for all kinds of servers. What can it do, Avu?
So basically, you can select any player to teleport to any location that you build this machine. It is both a receiver and transmitter. Mm-hmm. And you can also teleport all players at the same time, whoever's online.
Yeah. So that's pretty baller. If you want to know more about the system, how it works, and learn how to build it, Avu is planning to step up the YouTube game, all right? So there will be videos explaining all of this, showing you how to do this. But of course, in short, this system can teleport any player to any location you choose and even whole teams, which is super cool. Imagine we have I don't know, war breaks out on the Hermitcraft. I summon Team Star, and then we can send them to different locations, right? Really, really cool. So there's more to come with this technology. Izzy was also talking about new concepts already, ways of getting rid of the receiver part maybe completely. That would be, of course, cool, but yeah, we don't want to spoil that yet. It's in development, right? Secrets.
Yes, we're looking for
Yeah,
ways to make it smaller, more compact, maybe one wide tileable,
yeah,
and ways to implement multiple cats per user so that you can use the cat system to travel between different dimensions and across the overworld.
yeah,
So these will be released on Awoo's YouTube channel. The link will be
yep,
down below. And just give us a few more weeks to kind of flush out the last designs.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to say on a personal note, this was so much fun to work on this all. I gave me message, lots of joy, true hive mind spirit. And yeah, as I said, those guys, that just contacted me and said, hey, we have something cool. And I always look at things people send me. And if I think that's really something the community can make good use of, there was no question. I quickly answered back. And then 1 week later, yeah, we got this whole thing going. Pretty crazy ride.
Yeah, I think it's about 7 or 8 days ago we messaged you with an idea, and now we got like 4 machines working.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's been a productive week. Let's say this. Yeah. So really, really cool. I'm really, really happy that I always thought the to name wireless technology as way more potential, and I also don't think this would be something the Mojang team would deem as exploitive or buggy or so. I don't see them patching this out. And if they would do, then they're really out of fun police. So, yeah, this could become something that might replace the traditional network transport systems for advanced servers. At some point, everybody will be teleporting around, man. It is just freaking cool. All right. Now, though, I need to get back. you know, uh, I like
That's
you
fine.
guys'
Yeah, I have
server,
one.
but maybe.
I mean,
It's fine. We should have one ender pearl left in here for you. Let me see if I can trigger this one.
All right, sweet.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
see you again soon.
See
Come back in a
you.
week.
Thank
Doc.
you. Bye. Huh? Ah, yes. Okay. We're back home. Nice. Yeah, big shout outs to Izzy and Amu, right? It was so much fun working with these guys. Hive Mind at its best, man. Just working together to get something cool going. In the meantime, guys, back here on the server, I framed in our whole area here with a little bit of a glass block. Yeah, there's, mob spawning happening out here, and I lit up the area a little bit, but it's not 100% safe. Also, have a little door there, and then we can safely get in and out. But yeah, now actually it is a day later since I recorded yesterday, and yeah, a big test can happen now. Now, in the meantime, the server actually restarted once. So let's see if our system, I just logged in, right, and yeah, see if our system is still working. And yeah, for the guys, that are into video editing, obviously it is still working because, I just teleported to make the cut. So yeah, here we are, back at spawn, and it's actually working just flawlessly. I have little access ladders here now, small add-ons, an ender chest here might become useful at one of these teleportation stations as a standard thing, and I'll develop that further. I also started to lay out the signs down here. That's a bit of a better visual indicator. Also, you don't always have to look at the book to check the IP addresses here, so you know them, and then if you program in new ones, you can just look down here, and also light indicator, so quickly to which destination you want to travel to, right? So if it's already set correctly, you don't have to look at the book. Obviously, that's a huge plus. So yeah, this is working just fine. I can't believe it. How far this wireless technology progressed by now. Obviously, a huge change was Ender Pearls working as a chunk loader, right? This makes it so we don't need extra chunk loading here, and that is a huge breakthrough, of course, right? This makes the system really versatile. Once again, think about how crowded our shopping district is, and normally when you used, like teleportation stations like this, there were similar concepts. This is not a completely new concept, but it was always a bit clunky because it needed chunk loading, and a lot of people fear running chunk loaders, the traditional chunk loaders, and I think, the hurdle to just put an ender pearl there and it works is way lower than understanding chunk loading and so on. So yeah, ender pearl stasis chunk loading is a huge deal, and there will be more cool developments coming from that, for sure, in the future. So yeah, fun project. If you have some ideas what we can do with this, obviously, right, next stage, I'm just gonna lay out some of the things we want to do. First of all, I have a really cool idea for a post system now using this. Secondly, of course, remote controlling of farms that are far away, right? 1,000 blocks this way, we have our huge bone meal farm, and we're sending these hypersonic boats into our system here, and they're caught up there at this spot, and we're feeding our insane bone meal production. We need tons of bone meal for all the bone meal based farms over there, right? So we could remotely control that. Here on this other side, I envision a control panel for farms I remotely control, and also the farm could give us feedback and tell us, yeah, I'm running on off, with an indicator here, and we can check on that and so on. There's plenty of cool things we can do and wirelessly control everything we do. And imagine at some point we literally will have to do nothing anymore. We will achieve ultimate automation. You know, we will just get notifications what's going on the server. We will never have to leave the swamp. If we implement the full-on G.L.O.B.E system that lets us teleport hermits around wherever we want. If we want to speak to somebody, we just go to our teleportation station and say, "Hey, Hermit XYZ, I want to speak to you." Teleport them here, speak to them, then we send them back.